Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, I welcome Ms. Meenakshi, and she will talk about harness the power of nature to drive sustainable farming practices while ensuring plentiful yields. I now request the speaker to begin. Thank you.
Yeah, hello everyone. It's Meenakshi from this side. I am basically a lead institutional partnership from Absolute. And by qualification, I'm a microbiologist. But yes, by profession, more than 12, 13 years, I'm working with the farmers, specifically agriculture, technology, everything is into it. So that is a small brief about myself. So we'll start today's presentation. It's on basically harnessing the power of nature to drive sustainable agriculture practices while ensuring plentiful yields. So, before starting, we should go for the quick facts, mainly those facts which are important for the discussion. First of all, in India, approximately 160 million hectare land is arable. That means it's cultivable, right? Agriculture provides approximately 55% of livelihood to the people, and also 90% of groundwater extracted is used in irrigation practices in India specifically. And 70% of soil is micro deficient, especially that Indo-Gangetic plains, they are especially micronutrient deficient. Small and marginal farmers are basically 86% of Indian farmers are small and marginal farmers having 2 hectares less than land. And in India, the fertilizer use is so much high that 60 kg per hectare is used, which is far, far more than the global standards. And approximately 400 million pesticides poisonings have been seen globally each year. So these are quick facts. Now we start why it matters. Why nature harnessing is so much important because of survival. As we know that India's population is too much high and we need to feed 1.4 billion of people, and the total amount of area which we have is 2.4% of total global area. So it's a matter of survival. It is very much important. Second is resilience. Every activity which we do should restore the ecosystem. That is very much important with the agriculture. So such practices are very much important and required today in today's world. Prosperity, because we need to do something which increase the farmer's yield and decrease the input cost, as well as long-term profitability is very much essential. So these is traditional wisdom in agriculture because ancestors used to follow it. It's a very good thing which they used to follow, and without harming the environment, like water harvesting, livestock, and the green manures they used to do with the indigenous practices. Crop rotation was very much normal previously, and mixed cropping is done. Agroforestry tradition, which is today is a very much needed thing, is used to done 100 years ago. It's like that. So when the Green Revolution started, it's in 1960 to 1980, because of high yield, because food security was the major issue. So high yield varieties were introduced, chemical fertilizers, pesticides, herbicides, irrigation proper systems, as well as mechanization, like modern farming tractors, equipments were introduced. It affected very well because wheat as well as rice percentage of growth increased drastically. So, what were the side effects? Side effects was food security we gained, but the overuse of fertilizers and pesticides degraded our soil, polluted our water, and loss of our biodiversity. That was a major cause of degrading of a soil. Till now, it's happening. So, these are the current challenges of Indian agriculture, what we feel. Land degradation, as we said before, also 30% of Indian land is degraded. It's because of deforestation or maybe chemical uses or pollution, everything, it has caused degradation. We can see greenhouses gases emission is very much high. In Indian agriculture specifically contributes 14% of GHG emissions. Climate variabilities, which is very much visible nowadays also, whole northern India is going through that thing, as well as soil loss. We have the fertility has of soil has been lost, it has been degraded. in India, 5.3 billion tons of soil has lost its fertility. That's annually. And if we can say it's approximately 15 billion ton all over world. Water stress, because of high fertilizer use, water stress was there. Farmer distress, maximum farmers are in debt because of high input cost. So now we talk about why sustainable regenerative farming is necessary. Because because it's necessary to conserve the ecosystem as well as to get a better yield. Like organic composting and natural inputs, this is the one way we can do. Biological pest managements, covering crop is very much essential. Like legumes are important. Mulching sheets are there, they are decomposed. Like in some organizations, institutes have developed those mulching sheets also, that they are biodegradable and they are made of plant based. Agroforestry system is, it's a very strong part to to create a sustenance in these for the agriculture. So that soil carbon should be improved, water retention should be improved, and biodiversity. These activities in totality create a ecosystem which is very much essential for the sustainable practices. So as we talk about the good practices, now we talk about why nature-based solutions. Because low input cost, nature-based solutions are low. They don't have that much costing that increase the farmer profitability. Reduce chemical dependency, which is very much high in today's world. Enhancing carbon sequestration, which is a need of our because of the climate change. And because of these such practices, you can addresses SDGs goal like 2 and 13, which is zero hunger and climate change. Like microbes, fertilizers, and soil intelligence consortia of microbes are very much, these are the hidden powers which can boost the soil as well as the crop. So how to harness, what is harnessing microbes for agriculture? Like, so some microbes which are good for the soil as well as the plant, they make nutrients more available for the plants. Like they protect from the pathogens, like you can say biocontrolled microbes like trichoderma, pseudomonas. They help against the soil-borne diseases. Any other rhizobia, mycorrhiza, azotobacter, you can see boost nutrient absorption. That is very much important. So microbes can work differently, like manage the biostress, abiotic stress, uh, promote the growth, protect the plant from the pathogens that can be phytopathogens or from exterior sources. So this we can see a simple, very simple picture which shows if we add fertilizers, what are the effects, and if we add soil microbial inoculants, what are the effects. Over-fertilization has happened, pesticides contamination, you can see heavy metals in the soil which damage the crop, decrease in soil fertility, which is very much reason why the soil has been, degraded nowadays. Leaching of nutrients, because of excessive of chemicals leach the soil nutrients, which is slowly reducing the water retention of soil also. So for the high yield soil, because they form a consortia environment, microbes form an environment with the soil, roots, as well as plants for the sustainable management. It's like they are living in sort of a symbiosis situation and boosting their micronutrients as well as providing good nutrients to the plants and release specifically they are eco-friendly as well as creating a sustainable environment and not harming the nature as well as the plants. So along with the nature, microbes, we can use the good technologies like science, like AI power advisories, reducing crop risk by 15 to 20%. We have seen that in our previous work also. Remote sensing and satellites for improved irrigation practices, IoT sensors, blockchains. These are all technologies which are helpful with along with the microbial nature-based solutions can create a sort of an ecosystem with the indigenous practices as well as along with the new technologies and create a good environment for the plants as well as. So these are some schemes which are actually working very efficiently in today's world. Some schemes have been started and they have shown very good result, and some schemes are on the way. These are all Indian schemes. Now we talk about good case studies because it has been done. We'll talk about Maharashtra. We did that ourselves because we have an in-soil testing machine which gives a soil testing in 20 minutes as well as recommend the biofertilizers. So there in that area, 30% of chemical use has been reduced. And we can see the Odisha example also, community water harvesting improved that paddy yield. Karnataka, mixed cropping, microbial inputs, everything in mix, because we can't totally depend on the microbial or we can't totally depend on the chemicals. It has to be a mix thing. Like in Brazil also, microbial inoculants saves many soybean farming. Kenya, USA, they are good examples for adapting the nature-based harvesting. This can be the future. Regenerating transition from input heavy to healing farming is very much important. Huge carbon sink because soil store carbon more than atmosphere, 2 to 3 times more than atmosphere, less than ocean, but yes, and it can behave like a very good carbon sink because of agriculture. Those carbon sinks can be, converted into carbon credits also, which will be beneficial for the farmers also, giving them a lot of livelihood opportunities. Market growth because regenerative farming is adopted, recommended, as well as boosted by each and every country. So it's a huge market. And we totally believe that PPP partnership is very much effective because if a technology specific for the agriculture is developed by institute, it has to be validated by the industry and adapted by the government. Then only that sustainability model can be developed. So, what is the call of action? I personally believe the blend of traditional wisdom and scientific innovation is very much important, and the bridge between it is technologies, innovative technologies. Like scale, and second is scaling women-led community initiatives. We have done this with ourselves only, so we believe because farmers, especially working in the field, are women also. And in northern India, you can say 70% of farmers are women. So they need to be, the initiatives should be community led, women community led, and that will be more sustainable. Some policies need to be boosted, which can give incentives for organic practices and all. So this is what uh, can be done. So this is a small presentation. Thank you so much. I really believe that we have to restore the nature. We have to work with it as well as earn with it. And farming is the best practices which we can do that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for a wonderful presentation. I will take up the question now.
Yeah.
The first question is, what innovative techniques exist for conserving water while ensuring healthy crop growth?
Sorry, pardon, please, फिर से. Can you just
What innovative techniques exist for conserving water while ensuring healthy crop growth?
Okay, innovative techniques. So we can go for the better practices for the irrigation as well. Water harvesting practices can also be, utilized. I'll give a live example. We did the solar irrigation, solar irrigation plant was established. That was a piloting in the Himalayan region because electricity is very much low. So for that particular area, the irrigation was done with the drip irrigation method and the energy was generated from the solar. So there are many energies. Even ICR also developing some sort of technologies which are beneficial for the water harvesting also.
Okay. How do biodiversity in soil microbiomes contribute to crop resilience and productivity?
See, soil has number of microbes in it, right? So those microbes, when they are there, they form a consortia with the plant roots, and they give some sort of immunity to them, right? Those are good bacteria, also bad bacteria, viruses, fungi, everybody, that is a consortia of microorganism into it. When soil is particularly nutrient rich, and it has those good bacteria and microbes into it, it simultaneously increase the absorption of nutrients. A plant can absorb better nutrients because of that soil. But when we add the chemicals, it kills those bacteria. The absorption capacity of a plant goes negligible. That's why it affects the plant growth. So better soil with a good uh, amount of microbes, healthy microbes, are very much essential for the better growth as well as yield of the plant.
Okay. What are the most successful global examples of nature-driven farming practices?
I've seen, I've just gone through that Brazil one. So what they did, they because of inoculum, they inserted in the soybean plantation, because the soybean, they do the soybean plantation a lot. So their yield was improved approximately 15 to 20%. It's like that. So yield was improved just because to adding that inoculant. Other than other practices they follow, but the just inoculant, what inoculant did, it increase boost the absorption power of the plant. So when the nutrients are in our body, when we get more nutrients, we get more immunity, we nurture better, we grow better, we develop a self defense system for same as a plant also. Because some microbes which were inoculated, they activate the phytohormones of the plants. So phytohormones, when they activated, the nutrient absorptions as well as the growth portion is much more better.
Okay. Can integrated pest management become a mainstream practice in sustainable farming?
Uh, it can become, but it has to be done with other practices as well, because integrated pest management is also a biopest management, right? When you add some microbes to kill those pests, specifically ladyflies and all, when beetles, then what they do, they don't kill it. They don't allow to develop those beetles, right? So it can be a part, but we can't totally dependent on the integrated pest management. We need to do things simultaneously, because it's sort of an ecosystem we need to create. Only single biological inputs cannot, give the final product, but we need to create that sort of environment along with integrated pest management. It's a very important part, yes, but it has to be covered with the biofertilizers, biostimulants, good practices, good technologies. Then we can have a better result.
Okay. What challenges do small and marginal farmers face in adopting nature-based sustainable farming practices?
That is really very a good question, and I really wanted to discuss on that also. Basically, small farmers' livelihood was not totally dependent on the agriculture. That agriculture is the secondary source of income for them, first of all. And what are the basic challenges that when we add any bio inputs into the soil or the plants on the field, it doesn't act at once. Quick effect you will not see, right? It is a gradual effect, but it's a long term effect. But when the farmers, they are small holders, they don't have that much, time. They are not into that thing. So it's slowly and steadily telling them through the pilots, as well as making them aware of the technologies are very much important, right? Because adult education is very much needed in today's world for the farmers, so that they can approach easily, they can have the access for the technologies, they can understand how it works. Because that is the major gap between when we develop a technology, we develop it, but when it goes to the ground, that is not successful, just because of that also, because field trials are not that much valid. So any technology which is developed or adaptation specifically related to the microbes need to be field validated, need to be piloted in different agroclimatical zone. Then only we can, expect smallhold farmers to adapt it. Because we need to tell them it's not a very quick process, it's a gradual process, it's a slow process, but it will create a sustainable impact, because it will affect the crop as well as the soil and ecosystem. But to tell that, it's tough thing, but yeah, gradually making them aware, knowledge building, skill development is very much important, and adaptation of such technologies.
Okay. Are there scalable business models that make sustainable farming economically viable for farmers?
Yes, many agri-tech startups are doing, and they have done a very massive work on micro nutrients as well as biostimulants. Even as a part of Absolute, we have a branch which deal with the production of biofertilizers and biostimulants. So what we do, we basically first of all we do the validation. Field validation is extremely important. They are validated in different research centers of ours, and then when they are adapted by any external organization, external agencies, tested and trialed by external agencies, then only we can say they're acceptable by the people. Because farmer need a very simple, utilized way, and adaptable technology, which is not so much complicated for them, but easy to handle, easy to process. And yes, because nowadays, because of the climate change and pollution and many factors which we know, it's a very much important thing. It's a need of our to shift from chemicals to bio related products, especially nature based products, so that we can restore uh, our agriculture as well as future generation also.
Okay. How can training, policy, and financial support help farmers transition smoothly?
There are many training supports, even institutions, grassroots organizations, NGOs are also providing that support, training supports. Government is also doing that with, there are many schemes which provide the trainings related to technology, specifically use organic farming, nature farming by the government and KVKs also. So there are many policies and there are many schemes also, but that is also a major issue ki how those policy will be reachable to the farmers, because farmers are not aware of that also. So that is the major role of KVKs and local bodies to make them aware what is important for them.
Okay. What lesson can Indian farmers and agri-tech startups learn from global best practices in nature-driven farming?
I think what we can learn from a global perspective is that they are not totally dependent, and they are risk takers. In India we are not risk takers, means we don't experiment for that. If we are going for a particular thing, we tried particular technology and it is not successful, give it up. There's no repetitive tries. In global perspective, there are many tries. They are doing again and again. They are failing also, but they are doing. Like it's a very good example in Vietnam. So they are doing really very immense job. They have tried a lot on the soil of soil health, and they are doing learning technologies, doing matlab they are very much focused on adapting it rather than giving it. So I feel personally feel we need to learn that from a global perspective also. We need to try. We just no need to give up.
Okay. What policy interventions or incentives do you think are crucial to help farmers adopt nature-driven sustainable farming?
Um, I don't think there are any policies which are crucial. Policies can be reachable, they are accessible. The main thing is that there's just lack of knowledge among the farmers, because they are not aware of those schemes, those subsidies, those policies which are very much beneficial, which are promoting them to use less chemicals or to do the natural farming. So they are not that much aware. So mainly it's awareness generation thing is very much crucial. It has to be done on a massive way, or a very large scale, so that farmers should be available, should be aware about what are their rights and what are their uh, policies which are beneficial for them.
Okay. What advice would you give to young professionals or startups entering the sustainable agricultural space?
I actually feel that thing, any startup or any scientist or any researcher who are working on, they should not give up. They should try, and they should, when once the particular product or technology is developed, they should go for the massive trials, field validations. Because, it has been seen, because I am connected to many institutions. We do that. We take good technologies from agriculture institutions as well as private institutions, also internationally, nationally. Those technologies are developed, but they are not practically on ground. So what is developed and put it at the patent is not that much important. We need, if we want market of that product, we need a proper massive trials for that. Because trials from our level also, and validation from other second party validation, any company, organization, testing services, we need that thing. Then only a product can be a successful, and it can be, disseminated in the ground and can show a good result.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am. We have now completed the round of questions on behalf of agricultureinformation.com. We would
Okay.
like to thank Ms. Meenakshi Garg for the talk and for answering the questions. This
Thank you
meeting
so
will now
much.
be closed. You're most welcome, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bye-bye.